Alright, let's be honest. Raw was a little bit mid. But I guess normally after pay per view, most of the time it is. So, can't be too mad. I was like, couple of intriguing things, but for the most part, it just kind of seemed like, eh, or whatever. Um, anyway, I was like, just came out, Gunther out here, Ludwig Kaiser, you did the whole thing about him. I thought the crowd was sucky here, cause it didn't even seem like they like the what stuff started, but it really just sounded like when you're trying to give a speech and people are talking, that's what it sounded like. So like I don't even want to say rude. It just was just like, okay, I can't really hear what Gunther's saying. I was like, people are talking, but they're not saying anything. Okay. Also, all what they were saying also wasn't too inspiring either. I was like, Gunther basically just talking about how, he earned his shot compared to Damian Priest, especially cut the whole Randy Orton thing. Damian Priest comes out and he didn't really say too much either. Basically, like, I earned it, whatever. I'ma still have this title. Then Drew comes out, had a stare down with Gunther, but Gunther eventually leave. Now it's just Drew and it's Damian, and Drew says something to CM Punk, and I'm kind of like, oh, it's unnecessary because it's like CM Punk. Like if it was just Drew coming out here and talking, all right, cool. Say your thing with CM Punk, keep that going. But he's just said it as like a drive-by statement. I was kind of like, oh, all right. Then he turned his attention to Damien and basically, talking about I'm going to win because it's my country or whatnot. It was funny of him doing the whole thing about we don't know about America, don't know about geography, but then having to say I'm a citizen here. You know, got everybody like America. I was like, I know, me too. Um, and then Damien Priest said a whole bunch of nothing until basically he asked if his wife was going to be there. And then the crowd gasped because that's a gasping type of statement, even though there was nothing there. And Damien was just really just asking if she was going to be there. But the whole point was Drew thinking that he could get underneath Damien's skin by basically being like, you're not a nothing champion when Damien basically got underneath against Drew's skin for basically just saying, "Is your wife going to be there?" So in saying that, yeah. And then not too long after that, you hear Bron's music, and Drew. I was like, Drew leaves out, and then we just sort of get like a not a stare down, but we just get like Braun, Drew. Damien, and Damien leaves the ring, cut this as match for JD, and that was it. Nothing too much there. I don't know what they're gonna do really with Braun and Judgment Day because I was like Clash at the Castle for Damien. And Drew is in about like 2 3 weeks. So and you would figure that I was like, which makes me sort of think that Damien is going to retain as champion, face Braun at like Money in the Bank or something like that, and then face Gunther. I was like, I don't know. That's just how I'm looking at the lineup right now. Anyway, so like I said, there really wasn't anything really worth of substance. I was like, the crowd sucked, but I also can't blame them because the promos here from really kind of everybody wasn't on par. But I don't know which one is the chicken and the egg. Like because the crowd's not in it, it's also not getting the juice, or the juice from the promo not making the crowd worth it. Probably the promo because I was like I said, they all really didn't say anything. I was like, oh, okay, cool, we just talking. But I was like, and not everything could be rah rah rah. Damn, oh, like so I'm fine with it. It is what it is. Um, yeah, I was like, then we got the Braun versus JD. Pretty much, it's JD, so he gonna get his ass whooped. It's Braun coming back, and he basically just destroys them or whatever. You know, I was like going to be interested to see how they use Bron pretty much in a lot of these situations. Um, you know, because you can still see like he's, you know, he still got to get himself in ring shape and stuff like that. But he's also your big monster on the show. But you got quite a lot of big dudes on the show. So, and then he just basically chases JD throughout nearly the whole show. Comes back later on and to the end, and and see how that goes. Um, not I was like I said, not too much crazy on the show. I thought it was funny, interesting. I was like, so R-Truth got a ice cream truck, selling ice cream, whatever. Miz is there, and I thought it was a little funny of Miz being of like R-Truth was like, oh man, you know, we got this whole thing in ice cream. He's like, he's like you're vanilla, and he's like, and he's saying he's like strawberry. R-Truth's like, I'm strawberry. What was you gonna say? And Miz is like, mm. And then the New Day rolls up and is like, yeah, what was you gonna say, Miz? And he's like, I I'm gonna say, what do y'all want? And they basically just wanted to see like get a tag team title match. And then Karrion Kross shows up after Miz sort of bounces a little bit. And I was like, going in wrong with Steven Larson sort of suggested this or whatever, where I seen it where it was like, since Karrion Kross always does something to like break up people or whatever like that, that they're gonna break up the New Day. And he alluded to as much, basically, as far as being like, yo, when are you gonna let Xavier Woods shine when you retire and all the other stuff? I can help you out. Like, y'all gotta learn how to do this thing as a tag team. Y'all need to watch ALP, and they just like laugh it off and stuff like that. Then Cross leaves, and then they're just like, he looked like the guy that was also not gonna say strawberry, you know. And then Pat McAfee asks Cole, and Cole says coffee, and I was like, a little better, I guess, or whatever, you know, with the jokes that they were doing. Um, ALP comes out and destroys the Creed, which I'm surprised. I was like that it wasn't really a long match the way that the Creeds have been on TV, but basically crushed them, killed them, in all senses. And then we're gonna get New Day and AOP next week, so we'll see how that sort of goes down. Um, we got they talked about Lyra and her match, and I was like, she was all bruised the hell up, without trying to figure out like how her knee get messed up. Or whatever. Becky shows up, basically like, we didn't win, but hey, we can learn and get some knee pass, which maybe that might be true. She got some real skinny knees. But Lyra faced Kairi Sane. Really wasn't much here of like, you know, it was just a match. Kairi Sane loses because why not? Lyra won. And then you go to the back, and Io's having a real BF. You know, I'm a mean girl. Know what I'm talking about. And just broke everything and just stormed out. Which, you know, I guess, you know, now that she's off the hinges, Oscar not there. Her team keeps losing. Lyra keeps winning. Also, we had Dragunov and Ricochet in a match because Ricochet wanted Bron Breakker, but Bron was sent away. Um, yeah, so I was like, he's like, I want to match Ilya. We gonna do this. Ilya's like, I don't fight injured people, you know, because he wears glasses. But Ricochet's like, whatever, book the match. They booked the match. Cool. Um, yeah, and fun match, good match. Of course, Ricochet, Ilya. I was like, do the thing. That's not what's important. What is important is that Bron Breakker did not take the notice to stay at home because, unlike everybody else that has a job, he actually wants to work, and he came to work and he decided violence was the answer and basically destroyed both of them once again, and just broke them in half. Adam Pearce came down. He's really mad. He sounds like a parent that's like, hey, I told you not to take the car out. Why did you take the car out? But you got this badass kid that's basically like, I wanted smokes. And he giving it to everybody at this point. Yeah, he yelled at him all the way till basically like leaving the arena. So obviously, I'm down for this Bron breaker. I don't know how they're going to do this with Ilya and Ricochet. If Ilya wasn't as much of a top guy as they're trying to do, I would say Bron Breakker have them in a 2-on-1 handicap match and beat both of their asses. But that would, I like Ricochet can survive that. Ilya, everybody be all up in arms for it. So what we sound like we're going to get is probably Bron Breakker and Ilya at some point. But we'll see, because I was like, I don't know how because I was like, you want to make Bron a big deal and Ilya. You figure it out. Figure it out. Not my job. Just because I'm fine with one of them losing, but don't let the internet know. Anyway, so Carlito, is in the Judgment Day thing. Finn was there. He's over here like I was like Damien's like, I didn't ask for you. Why are you hiding out? Don't you have a match? Y'all gonna come out? Finn's like, sure, I'll be there. I was like, they finally found JD after running around all the round arena from Braun. Damien's like, hey, do I gotta start doing some of this stuff myself? Where's Dom? Dom eventually shows up. He's like, and anyway, so Carlito has his match against Ray. He loses. Then they're about to set him up on the table, and then Damian Priest comes in and basically just being like I gotta do this myself, and just started destroying Damian, Dragon Lee, Ray. We'll get that match next week. Yeah, like I said, some of these are just like. Then we got to more of the fun thing with Otis, Chad Gable, and the duration of Alpha Academy along with it. But Otis faced Bronson Reed, doing his thing, handling his business, all until time for the worm. Chad's like no, to the point that it's a distraction that Bronson Reed's able to get the victory over Otis. Zane, damn it, I said both of their names. Chad called them all out to the ring. Basically, like, Maxine, you dumb as rocks. Kira, well, that was a little bit early. Like, Kira Tozawa, like, you couldn't even make it to Saudi Arabia. What's wrong with you? And so he's like, I gotta show you discipline. And I'm not gonna lie, I've been sort of down with him berating the team, even though they sort of been generic berates. I understand you can't really cross too much of a line, or whatever. And I guess some of it's just regular amount of like gets the point done by calling Maxine dumb. But he's gonna discipline Otis with a belt. I thought he was really going to have him bit over his knee on some, Vince McMahon old type of stuff. But apparently, no. He was going to give him like some lashings, and Maxine Dupree comes in, stops it, and then he just sort of stares at her. I was like, obviously nothing's going to happen to her, because I was like, that's where there's no line. We're not even getting to it. Otis will get hit 35,000 more times than anything than just a stare down with Maxine Dupree, because understandable, I guess. And then Sammy comes out, try to talk to Maxine Dupree, comes out, basically tell Otis, listen to the crowd, we're all telling you that Chad sucks, all this other stuff. Chad's like, Sammy does his spiel of being like a good guy and all this other stuff. And then basically him and Sammy just start fighting. And then Otis basically he doesn't do anything, he just sort of takes Sammy off of Chad. But in doing that, Chad gets the upper hand, and then basically it's like, hey, stop trying to like you helping Sammy, bring your ass on and let's leave. Then for the last match, Becky and Liv. I thought it was a fine cage match. I didn't think it was a good cage match. Which brings me to the question of, was it just the competitors here, which I can't fully say, but at the same time, are still cages just out of style now? Not saying that you can't have a good cage match, but it doesn't have the allure that can make any cage match good. You get what I'm saying? But they had a fine cage match. I was like, once Dom appeared, it's like, what? He's holding the door open, telling Becky to run her ass out. JD and Finn comes out here and be like, what are you doing, Dom? You know what? This is on you. You deal with this. If you want to be involved, you deal with it. Bron comes out, to try to get his clip back on JD. I don't know where they went to hide, but apparently Braun went all the way around, and as he did that, he came across, smacks into Dom, who hits the door, who hits Becky Lynch, knocks her out, and then Liv just runs out of the cage and wins. And had to stare down with Dom as she's leaving. I was like, not a strong finish. I get the finish, but not a strong finish. But it keeps the story going. Liv was over here being whiny and the whole thing. So we'll see how that goes along with her character. But she's getting these wins. I was like, so we're seeing how this goes with the story of her and Dom Judgment Day, because apparently everybody's been over here talking to Liv or whatever like that. Liv being a home wrecker, and over here and Dom have. So that's the more interesting part of it. That was the interesting part of the steel cage match. But yeah, do steel cages still really matter in this situation, or what it was just kind of a letdown with the participants, in this situation? Are you dealing with the Dom thing? I'm not. I was like, I'm not against it. It just ain't progressing how I need it to be, and I think it sucks that we don't have Rhea, to be honest. But anyway, that was a Raw mid review. Yeah, it was all right. It was okay. Stuff progressed along. But anyway, till then, see you next time.